समानते से तत्वमानसी मूर्ते आहे। धर्म जातीच्या पाद गांधींचे मूल्य मानवी जपतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे। वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन फाला पडतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा गरिबासाठी लेणी मोडून लक्ष्मी वहिनी झाली आई। कमवा आणि शिका मंत्र हा तरुणाईला प्रेरक होई। स्वावलंबी वृत्ती ठेवून ज्ञान साधना करतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे। वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन फाला पडतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा दलितांसाठी अण्णा तुमची झिजली चंदन काया। अनाथ जीवा सदा लाभली मातृहृदयी तुमची माया। शून्यामधल्या नवसृष्टीचा निर्मिक तोही ठरतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे। वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन फाला पडतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा जावा प्रबोधनाची पहाट व्हावी। इथे लाभले पंखले उनी उंच भरारी नभात घ्यावी। प्रतिभाशाली बहुजनांचा वेलू गगनी चढतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे। वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे। रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा
A very good morning and thank you for this beautifully penned by Mr. Vithalwa commemorating the journey of Rayat Shikshan Sansthan. Once again, a very good morning to all the dignitaries guests, and delegates with great joy and immense exultation. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for international seminar on solar energy conversion, materials and means, organized by Postgraduate Department, Science Faculty, Anna Sahib Aute College, Manchester, Pune. To begin with, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to offer the floral tribute to the idols of Padma Bhushan Dr. Karmavir Bhaurav Patil. Padma Bhushan Dr. Karmavir Bhaurav Patil is the founder of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, who started mass education movement in 1920 and since then has touched many lives of downtrodden as well. In his view, education is the means to empower. Please give a big round of applause. I also request the dignitaries to offer floral tribute to the idol of Sir Lakshmibai Bhaurav Patil, who stood with her husband firmly and supported his noble deeds. In his view, education is the means to empower the masses to enjoy and to emancipate them from social and economic slavery. Thank you very much. We are currently celebrating 75 years of India's independence under a year-long campaign, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, to commemorate our preciously earned independence. On the occasion of Independence Day, Honorable Prime Minister, in his speech, outlined the intent to prepare a blueprint to make India the world leader in strategic areas, aligning processes to international standards and positioning its institutions among the global best. Anna Sahib Aute College, Manchester has always tried to provide a platform to research scholars and their students to meet the eminent scientists and academicians to expose them to the recent advances in their respective areas. To welcome is to show honor. To welcome is to show integrity. I invite Dr. Karim sir to deliver welcome address of this inaugural ceremony of One Day International Seminar. Dr. Karim sir, please.
Good morning, one and all. On the occasion of celebration of 75th year of Indian independence, Anna Sahib Aute College, Manchester, all PG departments of science has been organized a eminent academician international seminar on topic solar energy conversion, materials and means for these inaugural functions of the international seminar. On the dais, we have with us today's chief guest, Dr. Dinesh Amanirkar sir, Dr. Kalyan Sundaram sir, Dr. Chaitanya Kanadi, Principal of our college, Dr. K.G. Kanadi, coordinator of today's seminar, Dr. Santosh Shinde, my colleagues, Dr. Misa, all departmental heads, all the students who have gathered from the various colleges of PG department, particularly chemistry, physics, and biological sciences, biotics. Here, I warmly welcome all the dignitaries on the dais. Those who are joined on the online Zoom, in which a Dean of Science and Technology, Dr. Manoj Chaskar, Dr. Atul Chaskar, these dignitaries and all others have joined on for this function on online mode. Here, I am here to introduce in brief the outline of today's seminar. This seminar is scheduled in the 4th session. This is today's morning session is inaugural sessions of the conference, that is solar energy and conversion of materials and means. Friend, you all know there are different sources of the energies. Solar energy is very, very big and natural resource widely used. Present trends of the research is moving towards the green era. Particularly chemistry, people are trying to synthesize the various compounds and various molecules which is having green modes, that is eco-friendly. There is no any hazardous pollutions. And Pradhan Mantri of our India has been given a special subsidy on this production of solar energy, particular for farmers, because India is a developing country and almost 70% people are working in the farm. Therefore, solar energy is increasing demands largely. Like in automobiles, there are different type of fuel get replaced now, not presently replaced detailed, but trying to replace, that is petrol, diesel, etc. towards the different gases and also the electrical charging automobiles. Likewise, the solar energy has a very, very importance. And the solar energy, how that produced, what type of electronic transformation take place in the solar energy productions, different devices and formation of the circuits. That part we will revise and you will learn a detailed information throughout a day from our different resources we have. Here, this solar energy, as I told, is very, very important. I don't extend more time for the talk about the outlay of your seminar. I am just here to introduce brief the today's chief guest, particularly Dr. D.P. Amanerkar sir. Here, the Professor Dinesh Amanerkar sir is presently today we have as a chief guest for this inaugural function. Sir is family member of the Rayasi Samsthan. He is presently working as the emeritus professor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. Formerly, he was a director general of SECMM, which is a renowned and very well research institute all over India. As I told, he is a family member because he did his BSc at Karmur Bhaurav Patil College, Pandharpur, which is our sister institute. He did his MSc in the physical chemistry at Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and PhD from National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. Then after he has a different professional positions. That is, he is a research scientist in Elpur International Limited, Pune, research scholars in Gipu Universities, full officers in National Chemical Laboratory, senior scientist in CIMET. He is visiting scientist as Gupum, director. His great position is at CIMET is Director General. Also, in 2017-18, Brainpool Limited scientist and visiting professor of Hayang University, Seoul at Korea. So this is about his professional position. His research area and interest is electronic material synthesis, nanoscale material synthesis, nanoscience and energy material synthesis. He is very, very good researcher. To me and to all you are very important. He has been published about 230 international publications in international rapid peer-reviewed journals. His research H index is 39, citation is 6,272. He is having the 20 to 24 Indian and 3 US patent, 3 technology and transfers, and given more than hundreds innovative talks in India and abroad. So this, as a token of his work, he has been awarded various institutes, that is the Maharashtra Academy of Science, then times recipient of the prestigious Brain Pool Fellowships, etc. His biodata is very strong and very too long. I tried at my level to concentrate it or to be shorten it. He is great personality. Dr. K. Kalyan Sundaram is also great personality with us. He will be delivered very shortly a lecture to in after inaugural sessions. To me, is very important about Dr. Amarnathkar sir. He is very great fellow because he did his MSc in the Kolhapur University, and then after he has joined to PhD in NCL. Here in 1977 something, it was very difficult task to join to research, in particular in NCL, National Chemical Laboratory, because there were a lot of obstacles for there. There was a monopoly. But the team from the Shivaji University, in which Dr. D.P. Amarnathkar sir, Dr. U.P. Mulik, Dr. Bandgar, Dr. Maldar, and then Dr. Vadgaonkar sir, these are the team. These are the somewhat batchmate, I think so. May I correct? So these are the team which have created social, they have created their special identity in the NCR and Pune. Still they are struggling. Still they are struggling because it was very difficult task. I remember those days, sir. I have passed my MS in 1988, and I was showing interest to my teacher about research. So they asked me to go to the NCL and meet to the Dr. Ghadge. So fortunately, myself and my friend Mr. Yeji Sheikh. I think you should also know this. Yeji Sheikh, he is working as a scientist in Bangalore, a very well-known research institute. So I came there only, but that Sheikh has joined and he selected there because he was a research fellow and JRA fellow for PhD. He did PhD there only. I am unlucky or unfortunate not selected there in NCL. Because that time it was very difficult because this Pune University, that reforms and that the people or personalities, dignitaries who are working there, they are totally reluctant to convey the other people. They are not ready to accept the other universities, people, students to work there and to come in the research to the research, up to the mark research. But sir, still, as our principal told, sir, he is struggling and trying that to get the chance and get the stage to all the students who came from the different small villages and areas. So this is very inspirational to us, and therefore, according to me, you are the diamond, sir. You have been developed many more things in the Pune. You are reached the position of the Director General of the CMED, which is very important research institute. And you are Dr. Bandgar sir, Dr. Maldar sir. They become Vice Chancellor of the Ahilya Holkar Solapur University, Solapur. So these dignitaries at the top level in the administration as well as they are in the research. And it is very important for me that these all fellows are born and brought up. They are from Raya Shikshan Samstha. They are having a good attachment for Raya Shikshan Samstha. On the occasion, I don't extend more time. On occasion of this international national seminar, once again, I warmly welcome all the dignitaries who are on the dais. Mr. Dr. Chaitanya Kanade, he is the son of our principal, Dr. K.G. Kanade. He did his PhD and now he is working at abroad. So his session also scheduled in the noon for you. So I know that all these are emeritus and very expert in the solar energy and different area of the material science. So all their lectures delivered to you all will be surely informative, very knowledgeable, and all will be fruitful. So with this, I excuse to say sorry. One of our great fellow of our college, Professor G. Shivak, coordinator of NAC, has joined this conference. So once on behalf of the science faculty and myself, I warmly welcome to Professor Wag. And with this word, I'll stop here and I'll again give best wishes to all for this conference. Thank you.
we are having speakers, and we are mostly delighted to have our delegates on the dais, off the dais, and online mode as well. On the behalf of Anna College, we are welcoming all these dignitaries. It is our tradition to express appreciation to our guests. And for that tradition, I would like to request Principal Dr. K.G. Kamadesar to felicitate our today's chief guest of inaugural session, young scientist Dr. Dinesh Amarnerkar sir, by offering.
Oh, he's looking young.
Yes.
Yeah, he's always young.
Please give good round of applause for this felicitation. Have you among leaders for this program. Despite your busy schedule, we are having our keynote speaker, Dr. K. Kalyan sir, senior scientist from Switzerland, and I would like to request Principal Dr. K.G. Kamadesar to felicitate him as a token of love, appreciation, and honor. Please be Thank you, sir. On this beautiful occasion, we are having our keynote speaker, Dr. Chaitanya Kamadesar, academic researcher from South Korea. I would like to request Principal Dr. K.G. Kamadesar to felicitate him as well. I would like to request Dr. Amarnerkar sir to felicitate Dr. Chaitanya Kamadesar. It is one of the historic moments. This is an historic moment. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to request Vice Principal Dr. Golbert sir to felicitate our Principal Dr. K.G. Kamadesar, our inspired inspiration towards organization of this program and such kinds of our student-centric activity. Please give good round of applause for this. I would like to request the coordinator of this program to felicitate delegates on the dais. Please, IPSC coordinator, Bhatt sir, Dr. Kale sir, Dr. Golbert sir. Thank you very much. It is time to most awaited program of this inaugural ceremony. We are really fortunate to listen to you, sir. We are having with us our today's chief guest, Dr. Dinesh Amarnerkar sir, Professor Emeritus Scientist, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Pune, for this program. I would like to request him to share his views and thoughts in this inaugural ceremony. And please introduce our today's keynote speaker as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, can you listen all? Honorable dignitaries on the dais, my friend Professor Kalyan Sundaram, Dr. Kanade, Chaitanya Kanade, and many others. Honorable dignitaries of the dais, the faculties here, and enthusiastic participants for this international symposium. So, couple of months ago, Professor Kalyan Sundaram sent email to me, and he said that he is going to spend 1 month in India. So I just thought of holding his 2 days workshop on solar energy harvesting at Pune University, for which he kindly agreed. So on 26th and 27th, 2 days, Department of Physics, he had given marathon sessions, 2 days marathon sessions on all aspects of solar energy, materials and means, all these things. On the first day, I think he roughly spoke about 6 hours continuously. And on the second day, he spoke about 4 hours. So Professor Kalyan Sundaram is a true professor in Inch. He likes to interact with the student. and he also likes to interact with the researchers at all levels, not only international, Indian, and all others. So then I just discussed with Dr. Kanade, and he expressed that he would like to have one international symposium on solar energy, because solar energy is his stronghold of Professor Kalyan Sundaram. I'll just tell one thing about Professor Kalyan Sundaram. I think his formal biodata somebody else can tell, but for last almost 4 decades, 40 years, he has been working in the area of solar cells. He has done some pioneering contributions in dye-sensitized solar cells, along with Professor Michael Gratzel in Switzerland's Institute. And Professor Michael Gratzel is a very renowned scientist. His H index is almost 262. And he is in the race. Michael Gratzel is in the race of getting Nobel Prize. So if he gets a Nobel Prize, Professor Kalyan Sundaram definitely had some contribution. And then I will also request on behalf of Dr. Kanade and on behalf of Pune University, if he gets this year or next year, through you, sir, we would like to invite Professor Michael Gratzel here in this place, for which at least he agreed in principle. Yesterday he agreed in principle. If he gets it, let's keep a watch on Nobel Prize. So dye-sensitized solar cells is a stronghold. Then I just discussed with Dr. Kanade, and Kanade said, we'll have what international symposium. I said, good enough. Professor Kalyan Sundaram can himself be good member, conduct the entire one-day session here. But then he has to go back to Chennai today, this evening. So we'll restrict his presentation about 1 hour. Once he speaks, he forgets everything. And then there are certain, you'll find it sometimes his topic is too difficult to digest. But let me tell you, you should prepare yourself to listen to this kind of talks. मागच्या वर्षी मराठीतनं सांगितलं होतं की केल्याने देशात पंडित मैत्री सभेत संचार मनुजा चातुर्य तसे फार. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला तुमचं इंटरनॅशनल एक्सपोजर असेल, त्याचा आता चैतन्य गादडे जाऊन आलाय, इंटरनॅशनल एक्सपोजर तुम्हाला पाहिजे. पंडित मैत्री, गुड फ्रेंडशिप विथ पीपल लाईक कल्याण सुंदरम, सभेत संचार, म्हणजे अशा प्रकारच्या सभेमध्ये ही एक सभाच आहे, यामध्ये तुमचं पार्टिसिपेशन हे अत्यंत महत्वाचं आहे. असं असेल तरच मनुजा चातुर्य तसे फार, त्याचा चांगला फायदा तुम्हाला आज घेता येईल. प्लीज लिसन टू हिम. त्याच्या काहीतरी प्रोनाऊन्सिएशनचा कधी कधी प्रॉब्लेम असू शकतो, व्होकॅब्युलरीचा, कारण ते बरेच वर्ष स्वित्झर्लंडला राहतात. ते भारताचे नागरिक नाही, ते स्वित्झर्लंडचे नागरिक आहेत. आणि भारतात येण्यासाठी यांना फक्त ते एक ओव्हरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया अशा कार्डावर त्यांना येता येते, त्यांना व्हिसा लागत नाही. पण बाकी सगळ्या गोष्टी ते मनाने भारतीयच आहेत. इथे कारण रात्री त्यांनी पावसामध्ये जाऊन भीमाशंकरचं दर्शन घेतलं. काल सकाळी आम्ही त्र्यंबकेश्वरला, नाशिकला गेलो होतो, त्र्यंबकेश्वरचं दर्शन घेतलं. देवधर्म हा त्यांचा वीक पॉईंट आहेच आहे. त्याच्यामुळे देवाचं दर्शन वीक पॉईंट असल्यामुळे त्याचा एक चांगला फायदा कानडे सरांना घेता येईल. त्या भागामध्ये त्यांना आम्ही बऱ्याच शिर्डीला पण न्यायचे, त्यांना आम्ही प्रॉमिस केलंय. सो ॲग्रीड. आणि या निमित्ताने इथं आल्यानंतर तुमच्यासारख्यांना त्यांच्याशी इंटरॅक्ट करता येईल. त्यांचे शब्द ऐका, शांतपणे ऐका, समजून घ्यायचा प्रयत्न करा. सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला समजणार नाहीत, पण निदान शब्द तरी कानावर पडू देत. 5%, 5%, 10%, 1%, काय जे असेल ते. अगदी तुम्ही तुमच्या मोबाईलची हालचाल जरा बंद करून त्यांचं भाषण नीट काळजीपूर्वक ऐका. मोबाईल शक्यतो नाही तर मोबाईल जॅमर लावून टाका सर इथं, एवढा मोबाईल बघायला नको. हे कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन करा, ऐका, कशा प्रकारे स्लाइड्स करतात, कशा प्रकारे प्रेझेंटेशन देतात, सब्जेक्टची सुरुवात कशी करतात, सब्जेक्टचा शेवट कसा करतात, या बऱ्याच गोष्टी अशा प्रकारचे इंटरनॅशनल सिम्पोजियमच्या निमित्ताने तुम्हाला शिकण्याची संधी आहे. त्याच्यामुळे दिस इज अ गुड इनिशिएटिव्ह बाय डॉक्टर कानडे. Very quickly we could convert. His talk has been basically converted into one-day international symposium on solar energy conversion, materials and means. Our materials and means aspect, Professor Kalyan Sundaram, I'm sure he will cover at least important activities. He will talk about all generations of solar cell. You'll find it interesting. He starts right from basics, goes to the depth. Be patient. Try to understand the vocabulary. Watch him carefully, what he has been saying. With this, I wish all the best for the proceedings of this one-day seminar. Thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity for this inaugural session. Thanks a lot.
Motivating us constantly. Now, for the moment which we are eagerly waiting for, I would like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. K. Kalyan Sundaram sir, Senior Scientist Emeritus, Swiss Federal Institute of Technology at Lausanne, Switzerland. Over to you, sir.
Have presentations. Have presentations.
Yes. I request all the participants to maintain silence.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by thanking our friend Dr. Dinesh Amalnerkar for giving me an opportunity to be in this part of the world. And last 3-4 days have been very informative and interesting experience for me to at Pune. And then I was in Nashik yesterday. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I was in Nashik yesterday and today in Mansar. So it's a time to him and your principal and school and college administration for the kind invitation. So I would like to today take you briefly in 40 minutes or whatever time. Broad overview of what the issues we have today, why solar is important in terms of global energy challenges and what solar energy can do. And then particularly from a technology perspective, because we are students, it's good to know where the technology integrates. So I'd like to say a little bit about how nanoscience, nanotechnology is brought into the design of solar things. Then on the first slide. So what are the main challenges facing in our 21st century? First is that we have a large population, 9 billion, and average we're talking about 2 terawatt energy required. So we're talking about 18 to 20 terawatt is energy you need for life to continue. And the population is also projected to increase at 1 billion per decade. And that means another 2 terawatt for every 10 years additional we need. And the second issue is increased urbanization and better living conditions and purchasing power of the wallet. And so with time, particularly people in big cities, they consume more and more. And so a typical example I give is a mobile phone. Today, hardly anybody moves around without a mobile phone. This is low cost, lower power consuming, only about 1 to 3 watt per person. So 100,000 or 10,000 people use them fine, but if you have 1 million people and 1 billion people start using them, and everybody wants to charge their mobile every day to talk to whatever they want to do, then you need to have power reactors. The government had run power reactors just for you and me to talk, use my mobile phone. That's just one little piece of gadget that we are carrying around. And this is how it time with as the economic per capita gets better and better, we use more and more gadgets, which need more and more power. And the third issue is that as of today, we are getting all our power, most of them from fossil fuels. When I say fossil fuels, it's coal, oil, petrol, natural gas. These are all things which took millions of years ago to form, and now we are pumping them all out to get the power we need. And so this is a very slow evolutionary process. If 100 years, if we use 1 to 1 million years to form, then you run the risk of supply and demand. So sooner or later, you will run out of it. And all the projections are that in 30, 50 years from now, all the oil fields in the world will dry out. And so it means we need to find alternative ways of producing power. And because they take much longer time to form than the rate at which consumed. So there is no balance between the rate of formation and the rate of consumption. And the related issue is the pollution. As you burn more and more fossil fuels, you put up a lot of carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide leads to global warming. And 20 years ago or 30 years ago, the green plants, they process fixed CO2 as sugars, known as photosynthesis. And the photosynthesis being the only way in which there was a balance between you are putting out CO2 and the way nature has been fixing CO2. But what happened in the last 25 years is that we are putting a lot more CO2 than what the plants can handle. And so what we should be doing is we should be planting thousands of trees every day if we want the natural photosynthesis to take care of the extra CO2 we are putting. And that's not happening. On the contrary, we are cutting forests to build the cities, cutting trees everywhere. And so that kind of aggravates the issue that we are now putting a lot more CO2 than the nature can handle. And also in many places, it's not just the industry puts out a lot of nitric oxide, sulfur oxide, which lead to acid rain. In Europe and Scandinavia, in winter months, so they have the rainwater is very acidic, something like 3.2. So people, old people can easily get sick and die with such acid rain. And so if you want to avoid this kind of problem, then we need to cut down the pollution. The problem with pollution is that it doesn't have any borders. So even Scandinavia, if they don't pollute, the wind brings them across. So the environmental pollution doesn't have any borders. So even if you are eco-conscious, if your neighbor is not, then sooner or later you die. So this environmental protection is a global responsibility. That's why every country is now talking about having how we can limit the CO2. So that's the other issue. And the last issue is recently now in the last 20 years, we are depending more and more on nuclear to get our power because it's a non-carbon, non-CO2 way of producing power. So it's very nice. If you had been to any nuclear reactor, you should go and see the amount of power it produces is phenomenal. The only problem we have is that we have two major accidents, one in Chernobyl and Fukushima, and that exposed high energy radiation to a couple of million people. And some people are worried about it. In fact, in Europe, in Germany and Switzerland, they decided to shut down the power reactors. So we have about 20% of the power coming from nuclear. So they want to cut down. In Germany also want to shut down. And that pushes now is how I can get my power if I don't use my fossil fuels, nuclear. Then we're talking about renewable energy, which is an infinite supply, and something which is also eco-friendly and non-carbon polluting. You know, the next slide. So talking about the CO2, way back in 2015, India, along with 200 countries, they signed a global protocol. This is a legally binding agreement. And what India pledged was that they will cut down the green gas emission by 35% to what it was in 2005. It will also triple its renewable energy. And it will also increase the share of non-carbon electricity also to 40%. So if I want to cut down the amount of CO2, then I need to produce more and more by non-carbon resources. So India committed itself, that means that in the span of next 10 or 20 years, we have to go away from burning fossil fuels and find alternative ones. Can you next one? Can I go to the next one? So we basically talk about 3 or 4 main options. One, of course, is the solar. which is an abundant resource. So in 1 hour, we get a lot more than what we need for whole year. So it's a question of how I can harvest the sunlight. But then the wind energy is also an important one. Geothermal, hydrothermal. In Switzerland, for example, we have many dams in the mountains. So we get more than 45% of the power from hydroelectric. And we get about 20% from the nuclear. We don't burn that much fossil fuels. It's only about 10%. But it's about 50% through hydroelectric, about 20% on nuclear, which we want to shut it down, and to go for solar and wind. And geothermal, again, is another interesting option, which is used extensively in the Scandinavian countries. Even in Switzerland, we have a lot of hot water springs. So if you go below 78 meters, the rock is very hot. Just pumping water and you can extract a lot of heat from that. So all these are all interesting options which people are exploring to get power. And so today I would like to talk about the solar. So when we talk about solar energy harvesting, the one is to directly convert sunlight to electricity. There are two ways you can do it. One, using the photovoltaic solar cells, where I use the visible near IR, infrared, near UV visible part of the solar spectrum. But then there is also solar thermal route, where I can use parabolic mirrors to concentrate the sunlight and produce power. Because the energy of the infrared photon is so low, I need a large scale concentrators. So they have them in Spain and United States, where you have thousands of parabolic mirrors which reflect the sunlight to a central spot, which you can use to produce power. But then there is also other ways where I can directly produce power. It's like decomposing water to hydrogen. Because one question which chemists have been asking for many, many years is if water is everywhere, sun is everywhere, and if hydrogen is a high energy fuel, can I just use the sun and water to produce hydrogen gas in high efficiency, in a clean, environmentally clean way? It's not only hydrogen, but we can also, for example, you can take the salt water from the sea and produce chlorine gas. And the chlorine is a very useful industrial raw material. So the question is, can I use the seawater and the sun to produce chlorine gas, reduce CO2 to methane, nitrogen to ammonia? So there are many other ways in which you can directly use the sunlight to do useful chemistry. And you can do the biomass, where you can grow like a bamboo. There are some which are, in terms of fixing carbon, they are very, very efficient. And so there are a lot of effort in South America in biomass, where I use the sunlight to produce high energy materials. And of course, I also want to use the sun for cleaning up the pollutants. So there are many areas in which you can use the sunlight. And so I would like to talk on the first box, little box, photovoltaics. So as I mentioned, now there are many installations of producing power in photovoltaics. So we have now even gigawatts. And then we also have this large area parabolic mirrors systems like they have in Spain, where I can use solar thermal radiation to produce. As I said, the infrared photon energy is very low. So to get any power generation, nuclear or coal, you produce a steam under high pressure, usually about 450 to 550 degrees. And that steam goes to run the turbine. So whether you burn coal or you have nuclear, you have heat, and you use the heat to produce the steam, and then you compress it at, so the compressed steam at 500 degrees runs the turbine. So the last part of power generation is always the same, except that it's a question of how I get my hot water at high pressure. So you can do it thermally also. Many people use them now. We have these tubular cylinders where you get to hot water, but then it's a low area material, so you can get water 60, 70 degrees. But if you want to get a steam at 500 degrees, then I need orders of magnitude concentration. Okay. So what is a solar cell? In very simple terms, I have the final thing like that, which is basically a sandwich device. It has two layers of semiconductor, one doped with the electron-rich material. If I take silicon, I dope them with phosphorus. Silicon is a tetravalent material, so if I replace some of the silicon by phosphorus, pentavalent, I have one extra electron to move around. So the more silicon I replace with phosphorus, I will have some free electrons. Similarly, if I replace the silicon with a trivalent boron, then I introduce electron deficiency. Now the electron has to come from silicon to boron, so I have a reverse flow. So I call it as a hole or a trap. So this we call as a negatively and positively charged material. So I take a pure semiconductor and then I dope them 0.5% with electron-rich and electron-poor material. These are known as the NNP doped material. And then I make a sandwich of this along with the two collector electrodes. And that when I shine light on them, I can separate the charges and produce electricity. And that in a very nutshell how the solar cell works. Actually, most of solar cells are PN junctions with their two collector electrodes. Next one. So this is the spectrum of the solar radiation as it comes out from the sun. So we talk about AM0, which is the Armature 0. This is the solar radiation before it passes through the clouds and reaches. It's in the outer space. And that's important for satellites. For solar panels which are working on satellites, the reference is Armature 0, where the solar light comes. And then when it comes through the clouds, you have the water vapor moisture. So all the spikes that you see in the AM 1.5, they are due to the atmospheric gases. So if you're having a clean spectral distribution, I see a lot of spikes that come from the atmospheric gases. And this shape of the thing is that you can put it by a black body radiation model. And so if you calculate from a black body Planck's law, it turns out that the source of the emitter is around 6,500, 6,600 degrees. So the surface of the sun, which is giving out the radiation, this spectrum indicates it's something around 6,500 degrees centigrade. And so that the black body radiation, depending on the temperature, the profile changes. You start with light yellow, red, and eventually becomes white. And so you can fit the solar radiation to a black body to calculate what is the temperature of the emitter which is giving this radiation. Can you go back? So one important thing you have to remember is what I put that when I put a solar panel outdoor, the sunlight is something like 1,000 watt per meter square. So what means that if I have a solar cell at 25% efficiency, I will get 25 watt per meter square. And so how much power I get is certain percentage of that 1,000 watt per meter square. Okay. The interesting thing with the solar panels is that I can power a number of things from microwatt scale. And you have what I put it in the light green is portable electronics, like your mobile phone. So these are many portable devices which work on microwatt. So when I put a solar light, the ambient light itself will give me the microwatt. So I don't even have to go outdoor. So I take a solar panel and I can use it indoor to get microwatt, 50 microwatt, 100 microwatt, at 1,000 lumen light flux. And that's more than enough to run many RF tags. So now many departmental stores, they even use the price tag which are run with the smallest super solar panels. So way above, then you have mobile phones, digital camera, TV, whatnot. So when I come to 1 kilowatt to 3 kilowatt, then I have the power enough to power your home. So if I have a installation of 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, you can get all the power for your home. I have at my house, for example, I have a 4.5 kilowatt installation in the roof of my house, and I get about 6,000 kilowatt hour per year. So I produce 30% more power than I need. It's just 16 panels, which is roughly about 40 square meters. So the 40 square meters is like about twice the size of your living room or hall. So you don't need very big. So anybody can produce today if you want to. And I use 16 panels at 250 watt. And I get 30% more than what I do. So what the 10 kilowatt is what you need for homes. And then I'm talking about 100 kilowatt or 1 megawatt. Then you can power the whole university college campus. In ours, we have a 2.5 megawatt. Every building has solar. So in our university, with the 2.5 megawatt, we get almost all the power we need. So that's a kind of order of magnitude application. So you have a lower power regime, anything from microwatt, milliwatt to watt of 100 watts. And then you have large area panels where you can even go up to a megawatt. And now it's very common, even in India, many of the IITs, they have megawatt solar installations. I was in IIT Roorkee, they have a nice 2 megawatt installation, so they get all the power. And even the government of India now subsidizes heavily institutions who want to have solar PV. So it is a very proven implementation. So when we talk about solar cells, we talk about 3 generations or 3 types of solar cells. It's partly historical. The first generation is the large silicon solar cells. I have a macro material, so I do a single crystal. I slice them together to make my solar panel. And the silicon is an indirect backbone material, so I need a lot, 200 micron thick. And at that thickness, it's very rigid. So a silicon solar panel, I cannot bend it. If I bend it, I will break, and then it's gone. But I can use the so-called thin film second generations. When you talk about a thin film, I'm talking about 0.5 micron to 5 micron. So you have many solar cells today, which are very thin. When I talk about 1 or 2 micron, it's just like the size of your credit card or your paper. So today you can make a solar cells on flexible polymers, which are as thin as a sheet of paper. So that's the thin film. And then we talk about the emerging technologies, which are, there are 3 main ones. One is the disolar cells, and then the perovskite solar cells, and the polymer organic solar cells. So we have been working for more than 20, 30 years on the emerging technologies. And some of them I mark them as a mature technology. So in short, a mature technology is something where the efficiencies are high, more than 20%. And they last for 20 years, that I can use them in large numbers. So if I can just go back. One interesting thing on that is when I come from first generation to third generation, you can see it as a top-down approach. Whereas when I go from third generation to first, we call it as a bottom-up approach. What it means is that in the top-down approach, I take a macro material, like a single crystal I grow, and then I process it. But I don't have much control on when I grow the crystal and what comes in there. It's more the properties of the material, but I start with the macro and then I slice. Even with many of the second generation thin films, I have electrodeposit many ways. I deposit the layers, but then I have only very limited control. So That's why we talk about two ways. One is top-down approach, where I take macro material, I ball mill or whatever to make small particles. The other one is the bottom-up, where I want to start with atoms and molecules, and I grow them monolayers. And so if I don't have a solar cell works, then I can bring all the technical nanoscience, nanomaterials, nanotechnology to make my device. So there are many advantages of taking this bottom-up approach, because the interest is to develop a template model, what a solar should look like, what you need in an absorber, what you need in a whole transport material, what you need in the electron transport material and my electrodes. Then I can find any material with picture. And that's the reason when people work on third-generation solar cells, we have a many variety of them. So in dye solar cells, I will show you in a minute. You can make them today with 30 different dyes, 10 different redox materials, and five different types of electrodes. The same thing with perovskite, and also with the powder organic solar. So that's the advantage of the one reason today in the last 20 years, more and more chemists are working on solar cells, because on one hand, in the first and second, you need ultra clean lab and ultra pure materials. So most of the time, the silicon solar cells was a physicist effort. The chemists never play any role. Whereas on third generation, because I'm doing a wet chemistry in the lab, any chemist, whether it's organic, inorganic, material science, you can contribute to the components of the solar cell. So when you talk about the nanoparticles now, there are many different nanoparticles from biological system, quantum dots. And so today we have that through the nanoscience, I can make nanomaterials practically every material, macro material I can come up. And another one. So I can have a nano material synthesis to solar cells. So it can be a physical method, like a physical vapor deposition, or it can be a chemical method, like chemical vapor deposition. By the way, if you want, I will generally leave a copy of my PowerPoint with your faculty. So you are welcome to take a PDF and look at them. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to contact me. I will leave my contact email ID also. So you can have access to the PowerPoint file so that you can choose them later. Okay. So there are many ways chemical deposition. And we also now have many biological ways of making nanomaterials. For example, I know Angela Belcher in Boston, in the US, she used California seashells, and there is bacteria, and she does a lot of technology, and she has all these abalone shells, they're called, and she grows nice, beautiful nanomaterials, so iron, hematite, you name it. She has a very big library of nanomaterials, just feeding to the bacteria and the fungus which is in the bit, and with iron salts, and it grows and makes very nice nanoparticles. And she even makes grand quantities of many materials, some of them for use for corrosion protection in nuclear reactors. If you're interested, go and look for Angela Belcher. She had done a lot of work on. So there are people now, not only chemical approach, you can even have a fat fungus, bacteria, you name it. There are many biological systems which can also be taught to make nanomaterials. And so many of these nanomaterials, you can use them to make solar cells in quantum dots. And so there are many ways in which you can make the materials using sophisticated lab equipment. On the other side, you can even use bacteria, fungus. And so the opportunities of making nanomaterials is quite wide now. So if we're talking about the wet chemical deposition, again, you have many methods. You have a chemical deposition, spin coating, dip coating, dark blading, and start casting spray. So there are many ways in which I can put a monolayer or if I want to make 3 or 5 micron layer on any substrate. There are a number of methods in which I can grow at a monolayer level. There's also one nice method called atomic layer deposition. With atomic layer deposition, I grow 1 monolayer at a time. And it's a very powerful technique for to grow monolayers on any substrate. And so more and more people are using like a lanyard blanket film is one way of making monolayers. We have wet chemical method. The atomic layer deposition is where you will decompose materials at a monolayer coverage. And that's also is a very nice way of making monolayers. So as I said, if I want to go on a 3rd generation bottom-up approach, I would like to have a variety of ways in which I can combine nanomaterials to make my solar cells. So to give you some examples of what we are talking about, here is a cadmium telluride solar cell. And if you look at the numbers, the main absorber, N cadmium telluride, P10 is about 3 to 8 micron. And the N layer is very small, 100 nanometers. And then I have my collector electrodes, which are also very small. So that's the reason why I can make a cadmium telluride about 5 micron thick. There are 3 or 4 layers, and many of them are less than a micron, 100 nanometers, 200 nanometers, and so on. This is another popular copper indium gallium selenide solar cell. The absorber is 1 to 2 micron, and my N layer is 700 angstroms. And then I have a buffer layer on the electrodes. They are 50 nanometers. So there again, I can make an efficient solar cell, which are nano scale. So this, for example, is where there is a Professor Heritage Tiwari in Zurich, and he makes very nice CHDS solar cells. These are by vapor phase deposition. So that you need to make copper, indium, gallium, selenides. They come in individually, you fix them at different ratio. This is vapor deposition. So this is the nice way where we use physical vapor deposition to put actually 1 to 2 micron thick absorber layer. So this is our paraspherical cells that we work on. So here you can see it's again only about 2 micron. And if you add all the width of the different layers, it's less than 2 micron. So I can make a paraspheric solar cell 25% efficient, less than 2 micron on a titanium foil, fully flexible. So that's it today. Now we can make many of these 2nd, 3rd generation solar cells. Their absorber, the whole pack stack is only 3-5 micron. And but you can have them flexible. You know that one? So the nanotechnology is very important tool in solar cell design. One is the absorber. So the most of the time material I absorb is very thin. And I want to control the morphology of the material and the electronic properties of the material, optical properties of the material. And so with the nano, I can have a good control over the thickness, optical and electronic properties. And the second thing is like examples of quantum dots and multi-junction solar cell. And the second issue is the light management. When I make very shiny materials, then I can have a lot of light reflected back. So I need to put anti-reflective coating. We also tested the surface. I don't have time to go into why we do that, but If I want to make a single solar cell at 25%, then I need to make sure that the light, no matter which angle it falls on, is channeled and not reflected back. And for that, again, I need nanomaterials and nanoengineering. And then I produce within 2 or 5 micron charge carriers. So I want to make sure that I fully collect them without decontamination. And if my layer thickness itself is only 2 micron, and I have carriers move on 250 nanometers, then I should be able to follow optically or any other way the charge carrier dynamics. So that's why now we have a lot of time resolved techniques with computer signal lasers. So we do a lot of optical spectroscopy where we look at what happens, how fast we produce the charge carriers, what is the lifetime of the carrier in active condition. Many times they are in nanoseconds or picoseconds. So we need many techniques, but we can do that today. So I can empirically make a film of certain properties, and I can measure what the mobility and the carrier lifetime is, and then I can improve upon to improve the efficiency. So it's the same thing with character electrodes. I can use carbon nanotubes, carbon fibers, allotropes, graphenes, conducting polymers. So there's a whole variety of materials which are nano, which I can use them in the solar cell. So in that aspect, your ability to make a 20% cell over the years is the outcome of our increased understanding of how you can make nanomaterials, the technology we have, the equipment we have to put, not only put, but also be able to characterize how thick is my film, what properties I have, and what the carrier dynamics are. All these things we can do today because we have the technology available. And so in that aspect, you have to bear in mind that the solar cell evolution has come out of everything we know about nanomaterials. So I mentioned about when I say a solar cell is mature. So I can work and try to make solar cells. And the first thing is the efficiency. What is the power efficiency? For every material, we talk about a band gap. The band gap decides what fraction of the solar radiation could absorb. And so if I have a material of 1.5, say 2 eV band gap, that will absorb all the photons 600 nanometers and above. And the question is, what should be the theoretical maximum? So if I measure something 15% is a good number or a bad number. So I need to have some theoretical understanding about what will be the maximum for any band gap. And then what do I get to say if it's a good number or a bad number? And then I need to optimize it to the maximum. For practical things we're talking about, silicon now has been a mature technology. So now you can buy panels at 20%. So today, if you're talking about a guy from industry that I have a new solar cell I want to commercialize, the 3 questions they ask is, what is the efficiency? How stable it is? And what will be the cost? And so all 3, there is some benchmarks. For stability, should be minimum to 18, 20 years. And if we're talking about cost, it should be less than $1 per watt. So something like $0.50 per peak watt. What it means, the cost is, I want to have the cost is so low that producing electricity with the panel is as cheap as coal or nuclear. Because eventually, if I want to convince everybody to shut down my nuclear reactor or a coal reactor, I should be able to produce power. Now, if India is talking about 6 rupees or 5 rupees per kilowatt hour, then my solar electricity cost should be in that world. This we call it as a grid parity. The electricity cost varies a little bit from every country, but still what we know now is that already by about 5 years ago, about 2017, many countries, solar electricity has reached the grid parity. What it means is that today, if you invest money and put a solar panel to produce electricity, that cost is as cheap as getting it from the fossil fuel and nuclear. So today you don't have any excuse that I will put, but then it will be more expensive. And after for an investor, if I have $1,000 or 1 crore rupees I want to invest in a solar farm, then the question is how many years it will last, what is the efficiency, and what will be the cost, and how long I should wait to get my $10,000 back. And so these three is always very essential. And you have certain benchmarks. So when they cross benchmark, the industry will are willing to invest money to commercialize. And there are many technologies now which are, silicon. What happens most of the time is in the lab cells, they are very small. They usually 1 square centimeter. But then I usually make, if I have optimized it, then I make a module. But the module, it can be 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter or 20 centimeter. The idea is I want to keep the efficiency same when the area gets bigger. Because when I think about a panel, I'm going to go there meter by meter. And so we do the module test. So anytime when you go from lab result to module, if the system is clean, within 2-3% you can. So if I have something at 20% lab cells, I can make a module at 24. So I can sell commercial solar panels at 22%. So there are many things which now meet this benchmark. As I said, it evolved. Long time ago, we had a brittle silicon solar for 300 microns. Today, you can buy them in all colors. You can have them in flexible foils. You can even have a polymer. So you can even order ordering a roll of carpet. So there are companies which sell solar cells. So you can sell how much width you want, and I want 2 meters or 10 meters, like you buy a sari. You can even order them for flexible solar cells. You can do that today, and they are available in all morphologies. The question in terms of what I said at the beginning is, can solar be meaningful answer to my global needs? This was a study done about 15 years ago by the United Nations, which said that if I have a 10% cell, how big area I need to get the 18 terawatt I mentioned in the beginning, that if I want to get all my power using the solar, should I fill every house with the solar? Is it enough if I have few? It turns out that in every continent, if you have few solar farms, you can get your power. And this one about 8%. So today we have solar cells at 16, double the efficiency. That means that those dots should be even half of what it is, because the higher the efficiency, smaller the area I need to get the same power. So here are some exact numbers on this study. We're talking about a couple of square kilometers in each continent to get my 8% cells. Okay? You can look at them later on in the PDF. And there are already now many installations which are going towards that. India, for example, already has one of these big solar farms. So the India topped the list. In Rajasthan, they have a Badia solar farm, which is 2.24 gigawatt, just over 1,400 acres. So you have thousands and thousands of panels. And not only in Rajasthan, they have one in Karnataka, they have one in Andhra Pradesh. So now they are building this big gigawatt solar farms, which are 100 acres, 50, 30 square kilometers. And so you can now produce huge quantities. As I said, with 1 or 2 megawatt, I can cover a university campus. With 1 gigawatt, I can power whole of Bombay or whole of Chennai. And so the more gigawatt farms I have, I can, if not 100%, I can get to a 1/4 or 1/3 of 40% that I mentioned right in the beginning of India committed itself in the Paris Protocol is can I get 35% to non-carbon route, then this way, if I have 10 or 20 gigawatt solar farms, I will be able to get all the power so I can shut down mine. So China also is now doing many of these gigawatt scale. And these panels, they are silicon 16-18%. So it's almost double of what the model I mentioned earlier. So this is in Dubai with the cadmium telluride. So they have 3 gigawatt. Again, when you go from Dubai to Sharjah, you have kilometers of cadmium telluride. These are thin film cadmium tellurides. So they are putting gigawatt every year in the Middle East, which is also, they are also going more to solar. This is with the CAGS, which is evolving in terms of global market penetration of the silicon, which is 90%, and then the cadmium telluride, and then now copper and gallium selenide. We also now, not in gigawatt scale, but megawatt scale, you have solar farms. Because now only there are more companies which are making 20% CAGS. And one more question is, in terms of how I'm going to use my solar panels. If it's silicon, if it's only on the roof, the question is there any other way I can power up my home? So we talk about now the so-called zero energy home. The zero energy home is something which produces all the power it needs. It may be connected to the grid, but it will be producing so that it's eco-neutral, or what we call zero energy. So if you can't do a zero, the question is I can do 20%, 10%. In Switzerland now we already have what's called a min energy protocol, that you cannot build a new building unless you get 20% renewables built in. So now in Europe, they are making mandatory that if you are building new buildings, you need to have renewables in the building. And then the question is how I can do that. So one thing which we have been working on is to turn the windows into power windows. In big cities, in Bombay or Chennai or any of New York or Boston or any of this, you have these big high-rise buildings which have millions of square meters of glass. So the question is if I can turn even 10% of those glass into a power window, then those buildings can produce a lot of power. And so one question is how to make a power window? And also architects prefer to have a color homogeneity. They don't like ugly looking colors. For some reason, they pick their one color and then whatever you add on should meet their criteria, not. They won't build a building to meet your specification. So you can put them on the roof. If I have a flexible panels, I can put it on flexible ones. And we also talk about power windows. So as I said, with the disolar cells, we can make them in colors. So this is a disolar cell, which we worked on. So there is a company which makes, you can make them in blue, green, orange. So you can have color panels instead of light. And you can control the transparency and the light. And we have that in our conference center. So even inside, it looks fairly bright on a sunny day. You don't need light. So you can make them large area and green. This is in our school parking lot. So if you have electric or electric scooters, during the day, you can even charge using these are bifacial panels so that the light coming from either wall, top, face, or bottom, they work. The question I said that silicon was ugly looking. And the question was that is there a solution for it? Interestingly, people have found a solution for it. Now you can buy silicon solar cells in all colors. What they have done is You put a so-called photonic crystal, few micron thick photonic crystal. The photonic crystal is a glass, it's a highly structured glass with a certain periodicity in which you can control the optical properties of the light coming out. So I can tune the properties of a photonic crystal so that I will reflect only part of the light. So that depending on the photonic crystal, I can make the panel look green, blue, or yellow. So I take a silicon panel, and I think 10% of the light goes through the photonic crystal, 90% goes to absorb. So I still make a solar panel which is 18%. So I don't kill the solar cell. But with just a thin photonic crystal, I can now make a silicon solar cell in all colors. I have even seen a silicon solar cell is white. So they come with a Scotch tape. So even if you have a solid building, you can just peel off the back. You can stick it on. So you can convert every wall, even the solid wall like that, into a power wall. And so you can, in our school itself, we have some buildings which look blue, because you have all these with the photonic crystals. So you can't turn any building anywhere, even with the photonic, this kind of solar cells. So there are this one of the building integrated photovoltaics. The whole idea is that I want to bring solar panels as part of the building architecture. So this is a micromasses amorphous silicon. We produce for silicon now. Amorphous silicon is a low-cost material compared to crystalline silicon. It's a direct bond gap material. It's very thin. So in amorphous silicon, you can even make them flexible. So people have now made even amorphous silicon in colors. So you can use this photonic crystal, which is basically a fundamental concept in optics, in physics, how you can play with the optical properties of glass. And so that have incorporated onto the solar cells. So I can even make the solar cell now user-friendly, if you like, so that you can go and like you buy your sarees, you can go to your shop and you can order solar cells in whatever color that you want. I can make them flexible. So that is because Ayodhya Tiwari in Zurich. He has made now cadmium telluride GA flexible. And last year he even opened up a production line in Delhi, near Delhi. Tata has, it's a joint project with the Tata, given them a couple of crores. So now they are making CIGS panels in India, flexible, lightweight. So that you can put it on drones or even on a truck. You can buy them on sheet. So you can stick it on, so you have highway trucks. You can even put them on the top. You can even have them with the rolling thing that if you don't want it, you can just do it to roll back. And so they're selling in India, they're making them in India. They are 16-18% on a titanium foil. So the technology now is available, low cost, portable. And they are also work for 10 years. You can make them again in polymer solar cells. And they are not as high as CIGS, they were 68%. But now in Germany, there are a company called called Heliotech. So they sell long strips. So you can go to the building and you can put these strips. So I can turn a building into 2 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt power generation with this kind of panels. So I can make the glass, I can put even the empty space. I can put them with the space flexible. So I can make a kind of in-house preparation of power. So this is Professor Krebs' lab, where they make flexible polymer solar cells in meters. And it's one with the 14 layers with the 3 bandgap material. So it's commercially produced by inkjet roll-to-roll printing. And he has a company called Infinity Solar, where you can even buy them. These flexible polymer solar. So with that, I will stop, and I try to give you a broad overview of why we need solar, what is solar cells, and where we are in terms of choices, and how nanotechnology plays a role. And so I will be happy to answer any questions, and now or even later. Thank you.
Now the forum is open for discussion. If anyone has doubt, any question, they can ask. Just raise your hand. I will pass on the mic.
Don't be shy. We all learn. Nobody is expert here, so
Using words like our student data. So please elaborate photo decomposition, which you have used in your slide. Photo decomposition word.
well, yes. The normal one is use a form of titanium, K2 rutile, which you can put them on glass. And so there are lots of work done, photodegradation of toxic materials. And so we have done a lot of work for industry to treat industrial toxic waste. And because when you talk about the chemical or any industry waste, people talk about biodegradable and non-degradable. Biodegradable materials are those which in nature they decompose with time. So you don't have an accumulation problem. So there will be a short period of time that you don't overdo it. With biodegradable is not a serious issue. But then there are many materials which are non-biodegradable. And so for that, you need to treat them. And so many countries, they have regulation from industrial waste treatment. So a lot of them, they have used a tube lamp, UV lamp, and with the flow reactor. So you send your industrial toxic pollutants, you do a DC monitoring to remove to acceptable background levels. And so there are companies now who even specialize. There are even many other applications like Fukushima from Tokyo. He developed a so-called self-cleaning titanium things, where in the highway, in the tunnels, because of the exhaust, you have a lot of oily, greasy deposits. And so he has come up with a nice CO2-based paint, which would it will decompose all your automobile exhaust. So that periodically you can go with a water vapor to wash it, but you don't have. See, even now, it's a company which sells that many of these, even any office, if you want to have, you can add a self-cleaning layer on top. And so there are companies which work, but mostly with you don't want to play around with the visible light, but usually they are in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? The students are still processing the interesting topic. If they have any doubt, we will share your email ID so that they can directly contact you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you in the 21st century and explaining the various methods and materials generated for photovoltaic or solar energy conversion. Thank you very much, sir, for inviting us. Now, I would like to invite the person who needs no introduction, our Honorable Principal, Dr. K.J. Kannade, who is the source of motivation for us for organizing such programs. for this presidential speech. Over to you, sir.
Of course, not presidential speech, but I will give certain remarks regarding the Professor Kalyan Sundaram. Sir has given very good, what we say that, what we people are, most of our peoples, we are in not only in particular the what we say that particular the assumed story. Sir has given the real story regarding these solar energy convergence and materials and means. When particular in these regards, when I was the particular researchers and when I have read the first paper, that is Fujisuma and Honda, that is 1972's this paper in Nature. And at that time, we people are too much, very much impressed, of course, when I've been work with Dr. Manedkar sir, Dr. Kale sir, and when I did some certain work for the visible light photocatalysis for particular the water splitting during my postdoc particular work. And at that time, we people are predicted definitely there will be the Nobel Prize in this particular the field. And just now, yeah, that particular mentions regarding your laboratory and especially that is the gradual laboratory. Sir has given that particular the fellow that he has been work a lot with the help of that is a dye-sensitized solar cell. That is the true story, because Fujisuma and Honda, they have particular they developed that particular materials. He has given the particular principle, that is application regarding the titania, but that is in particular the UV light. But gradual has given the particular the real that applications, real what we say the particular technology, how one can convert this particular that is the solar energy with the help of this particular solar light and by using the different particular the materials, and that's why this particular the lecture that definitely it will be useful to you people, of course, the young researchers. Means you do not say that there is a particular now the people have developed too much, and what can we do? Because sir has given one particular the slide, that is he said that for a particular solar energy convergence, that materials still it is challenging to particular synthesize that materials which requires that is very good efficiency and particular the stability and also that production cost. We have to reduce the production cost. And in that way, sir has given very thorough discussions, of course, with the principle of the photovoltaic cells. And also he has given very good example, that is people and particular different country, how this particular the industry, that is solar energy, that is a particular convergence to electricity and energy. Of course, has given the example, best example, that is a very, we are fortunately, we are living in particular such area. We have too much, that is the solar light, that is the solar belt. Has given the particular the best example of that particular world map. And still, we people are not doing that much work, what that is, we should have to expect more. And that's why he has given best example. One can construct the building. If you construct a building like east-west, and from south side, we can give the particular the glass. That glass may be our silicon solar cell. That definitely it will helpful to particular, that is the solar energy, particular, that is the production of solar energy with the help of this particular solar cells. So there are too much particular the way, and of course, still the people they are searching more regarding these particular the materials, how one can synthesize materials, and even nowadays we may heard about that particular the automobile industry. That is the industry is also there that is developing. Of course, there are some vehicle that are developed. That particular uh, the water splitting, that is hydrogen fuel, and definitely for the country like India still means initially our announcer has mentioned this is our the 75th year of independence, and most of the country that is they are independent in the same year. For example, these Korea and China and these all these things, particularly Japan. So they become developed country, and our country is still recognizing as a developing country because we are not that is fulfilled. We are not that is having sufficient that energy, electricity for us, and that's why for such a particular the object, if you want more and more energy, more and more particular electricity, more and more energy, then if it is sufficient energy, then our country will be known as a developing, that is developed country. And that's why this particular solar energy has too much advantages to such particular, that is the energy convergence. Of course, there has been best example of that is the flexible solar cells also. And this is really the smart work. And I think this is the really the that is upcoming particular the research work, and definitely it will be helpful to our the young researchers, those who are particular the really interested to join the particular research field. While particular the breakfast, where we Dr. Ramal Nerkar and so sir, we are discussing with our of course Dr. Chaitanya is also there, and we were discussing regarding this particular these our the countries regarding the funding, financial supports by government, state government, of course, university, institute. Though it is not much, but I found that is the upcoming the new education policy and the newly revised policy by the central government and the state government. Definitely, there are too much opportunity to get the more and more that is particular the financial assistance in this particular the research field. Because if you see that even today, we have one scholarships for our institutes. The president of our institute is Honorable Sardaraju Kaur, and we are searching that is the 5 fellow that is from our particular institutes, those who are that is particular joined as a postdoc fellow in the overseas country, and we are interested to give some particular scholarship to them. But still today we are not getting that much the smart fellow. We really require this particular the scholarships, and of course I is one of the member of that particular the committee that we are going to select the persons, and on the 4th October we are going to give the announcing of that particular the fellow for the postdoc fellowships that is from our institutes. So not only like this, even state government has given too much that is fellowship. We see the day before the particular the newspaper, that is our higher education minister. He said that there are a lot of scholarships, lot of particular the hostels, and for example, the Rajeshri Chhatrapati Shahu scholarship is also there. That is the Mahatma Phule scholarship is also there. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar scholarship is also there for researchers. But you should have to take that particular the cognizance of the such particular the announcement, and definitely you have to join this particular the research field. Of course, there is as I told in the last lecture also, while after doing PG, you should have to that particular diverge toward the research. Not only after PG, with PG, you have to take certain particular the thing regarding your as a project, and you should have to develop that materials that will definitely assist to your the biodata. So I want to ask one more question, sir, regarding the in this particular field to our Professor Kalyan Sundaram, sir. Sir, I am while seeing this particular the nature and regarding that particular the life sciences, plant photosynthesis. See that particular the plant, they are getting certain particular the water and from that particular the soil, and only that solar light is helpful that particular to build up, that is grow that particular the plant and the particular the food materials. So that is also one of the what we say the nature principles. How that only the small seed become that is a very big plant and big particular the food we are getting. So that photosynthesis process. So even life science people, they are trying. Even I have seen some certain the physicists also. So they are trying to, that is to take that particular the material, how this material is helpful to particularly dye-sensitized cell. That like that way somebody has to try it. But if you see that particular this nature's process, so that is very one of the remarkable process, and we should have to try it like that way. Definitely we'll get one day certain that is a success regarding this. So I want to your particular view regarding these questions, whether it is possible like this way or not.
Well, yes, there are basically two ways of looking at it. One is thank you. As I said, one is the like growing things in a greenhouse. And there are people trying to identify plants which in terms of energy storage are the most efficient ones. So that we can exploit on this biomass regime. So it's basically people who can plant each other. Plant you grow things in a greenhouse. And then I can control atmosphere. You can see how efficient this is. And so in South America, in Brazil, and many countries now they are going select breeds of bamboos and others which in terms of again amount of CO2 deposition. We are taking. And so certain plants are more efficient than others.
If
you
do like this way, so that will be definitely help to reduce the carbon dioxide, because in photosynthesis, that is one of the pollutants here.
Yeah, it's actually yes. And that's why I mean, greenhouse itself is an interesting concept. You try to amplify solar effects and thermal. And except that I don't know whether it will happen. In Germany, I have seen there are many museums, botanical gardens. They have wings that they have an in-house devoted mainly to this kind of plants that you can see. So there's biomass aspect to which plants are more efficient. Is something which is like from people who are plant botanists, biologists, yes. But then the other side, with our chemists and even botanists, take a kind of different perspective. We can understand how plants do that photosynthesis. Plants are asked in a way certain things which I don't need them, like a repair mechanism. The leaves they try to find green. So it fixes. So there are a lot of repair mechanisms which plants do, which I don't need. And if my interest is just to fix the CO2 with the sun, can I do it in a much simpler way? With minimum number of cycles and minimum number of picking. And there are this whole artificial process. It's all right. And so I remember even when I first started way back in London with large George, he got a long class in chemistry in 66. So I spent 1 year as a postdoc. And he was I worked on model systems.
Okay.
And he was very passionate talking about how we are developing culture, that we need to understand the model systems better. Yes. So there are a lot of interests, one from an academic perspective, which ultimately is to do it in a much simpler way.
Thank you. Thank you. And sir has one more 2-3 video on this particular the subject. So we'll run that video after lunch for you only. So finally, I will thankful to sir and of course to our that is research advisor and emeritus professor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. Dinesh Ammanerkar, who has given such opportunity with these intellectual discussions with Professor Kalyan Sundaram. So once again, I am thankful to both of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your At the end, to conclude this inaugural session, I will request Dr. S.T. Shinde to propose a formal vote of thanks.
On the occasion of celebration of 75th year of Indian independence, we have organized a one-day international seminar on the topic solar energy conversion, material and means. We have faced here the first session and the inaugural function combinedly. Dr. Dinesh Ammanerkar sir, who is the emeritus professor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, who is the chief guest of this inaugural function, and here the Dr. K. Kalyan Sundaram, senior scientist and professor emeritus from the Switzerland, is the keynote speaker of the first session. We have pointed out the number of things from the lecture of K. Kalyan Sundaram. We are having a big biodata. We are having up to 30,000 citations from his research scholar, and he having one paper with more than 500 citations. This is the point out things of the Dr. Kalyan Sundaram, who is having a big biodata, and those person is with us today for this lecture and inaugural function. We are very much thankful to Dr. Dinesh Ammanerkar sir, who giving the chance to organize his lecture, and also thankful to Dr. K. Kalyan Sundaram sir. He is available for this session. And our president of today's function, inaugural function, Dr. K.G. Kanade sir, who is the principal of college, who is the innovative and ideal person of college, who is always with us in the, and we are having a lot of interest in the research field, and we always support in that lot of things related to research. I present here a vote of thanks of president of today's function, Dr. K.G. Kanade sir. Also, there is one more person, Dr. Chaitanya Kanade, son of Dr. K.G. Kanade sir, is with us. After 10 minutes, we take a tea break, or we take some break. After that, second keynote speaker, Chaitanya Kanade, will start his lecture. And I also thankful to Dr. Kale sir, HOD of chemistry. Also thankful to Bolbert sir, vice principal of the Anna Sabawde College and HOD of botany. I stop here. After the proposed this vote of thanks, next session will be